Since 1959, the Leucadia Wastewater District has been a leader in environmental protection as it collects, treats, and disposes of 4.5 million gallons of wastewater every day. It all got started a half a century ago during the 1950s as the population of north coastal San Diego County began to increase. Many residents of this rural area began to recognize the need for a more efficient and modern means of handling the area's wastewater.
In the early days, when everybody was on septic tanks, there were some real disasters in the area around Vulcan Avenue, which led to the formation of the district.
People in Leucadia were in a very low area, and every time it rained, the cesspools would fill up, and it was just a mess down there. And they would determine that they needed to do something about it for the health hazard that it was.
The founding board members, they were so motivated, and they were visionists. I call them visionists because they could see the future. And there were two women, particularly Pearl Land. She was married to a plumber. They had a plumbing business in Leucadia. And then there was Forrest Gafner, who was another woman who this plant is named after. She was a real estate agent in the area.
I used to work with Gafner. We called it the Gafner. She and I were the only realtors in the Encina area. I was 39 then. I'm 89 now. And I went home one day and I couldn't get home because storage was all over my street, my yard. And I said, Gafner, we got to do something about this. And she was the brain and I was the legs. So we started talking and thinking, and Pearl Ann was my plumber. We talked with her, and we organized.
On April 6, 1959, the state of California authorized the establishment of a special public district, the Leucadia County Water District.
And the special district was a chance for, I'm sure, the people to get things started and get things the way they want, have the control they want. And that's still the way it is today. We have good control. We have 5 board members that think only about sewer.
Originally, only 2,700 people were within the 400-acre service area. In 1961, the district grew to cover an additional 5,300 acres. Today, it serves more than 60,000 residents in a 16-square-mile service area, and with a more appropriate name, the Leucadia Wastewater District. In 1962, the first treatment plant and connecting pipelines began operating with a capacity of treating 750,000 gallons of wastewater a day. Funding of just under $1 million for its construction was derived from grants and bonds.
We put together $1 million worth of bonds, and I had to go to LA and sign them, and they had a deal with, you'd sign 10 times, Did you ever see one of those? Where it's, different pins, 10 pins, and I'd sign one, and the other 9 would sign. And I wish I could see one of those bonds. I've never seen one since. So I had to sign all these bonds, and then I had to bring them home, and I was scared to death bringing them home, $1 million in my car,
In the 1970s, rapid growth in the area began straining resources. The district once again met the challenge.
Right around 1973 is when the district had already been through the planning phases and was just starting construction of a pretty big pump station and interceptor project, transmission system project to take sewage from the area here at La Costa over to the Encina treatment plant. And that involved a partnership with the Encina Sanitary District and the construction of 3 major pump stations and probably about 10 or 12 miles of force main pipe to bring the sewage from those 2 agencies to the Encina Regional Treatment Plant. And that was a really big step at the time for the district.
Since its inception, the Leucadia Wastewater District has been a pioneer in water recycling. In the mid-1960s, the world-famous La Costa Resort and Spa began operations within the service area. A relationship was quickly established, and the district began sending treated water to the resort to irrigate its golf course. As regulations and environmental standards became more rigorous, the district again took action and in 1993 built an advanced treatment facility which to this day provides between 80 and 90 million gallons of recycled water to the golf course every year.
One of the original concepts of the whole district was to provide water to La Costa for the golf course. And that was unusual in those days.
With the reclaimed water, we were way ahead of the curve, probably 10 years ahead of the curve on reclaimed water.
Throughout all this success and growth, the board of directors who oversee the district have continued the tradition of proactive management that has been handed down to them from the original founders.
We have taken the time on a number of occasions to think strategically. We've gone for 2-day workshops to think about 5-year plans, we think about asset management, and we think about what the future holds. And I think when you've got a board and a management team who are thinking in that way, then I think it adds to the success of the organization.
Their record in recent years is very much a very stable, mature approach to governance. And their decisions of retaining professional management, staff people, to run the daily affairs, I think it just represents what a successful enterprise has to do.
The Leucadia Wastewater District celebrates their 50th anniversary with the completion of a brand new state-of-the-art facility. Like every other venture they've undertaken, it's an example of their enterprising approach to wastewater management and their fiscal responsibility to their ratepayers.
This facility's been around for 50 years. We're celebrating that now. This facility has now been replaced with a brand new facility, which, by the way, is already paid for. And this is going to take us on 75 to 100 years from now.
People live in this community. They should be really proud of this district, that I think they've been very good stewards with the ratepayers' money and the money that's come from development, and they've taken good care of all the facilities, and I think it's a real shining star of local government, and very proud to be associated with them.
As a result of its proactive approach to maintenance and operations, its use of redundant systems, and its long-range capital and financial planning, the Leucadia Wastewater District continues to be a leader in environmental protection. Leucadia Wastewater employs a highly trained and certified staff, with a majority of their operations personnel holding certifications in multiple disciplines. Using various state-of-the-art vehicles, the district cleans over 200 miles of gravity sewer every year.
Basically, what this vehicle does, it's a high-pressure water hose with a combination vacuum using anywhere from 1200 psi to 2200 psi. We send this hose into a manhole, into our sewer line, and the term is called jetting. We use high-pressure water to blast out any debris, roots, grit, grease, whatever accumulates inside the sewer line. We send this hose up to the line to blast anything out. We look to see if there's any debris in the hole, and if there is anything coming through the manhole, we have the tubes set up so that we can vacuum any debris out of the hole, so that way we don't cause a stoppage in any way.
With their closed-circuit television van, over 40 miles of their system can be inspected annually.
We use this vehicle and the equipment to inspect our sewer lines. We inspect for structural integrity, to make sure that we have no intrusions or cracks in the pipe, make sure that it keeps flowing. The way we would go about inspecting our lines is to lower the camera into a manhole. We point it in the direction we want to go. We could either go upstream or downstream, depending on the conditions. Then we send the camera on its way. It's on a tractor, on treads, and we can monitor its progress in here via the monitors.
The latest in information systems technology, such as a geographical information system, is used to maintain and monitor the various systems.
Our GIS system is used to keep track of our sewer pipes, where they're located. We use it to keep track of our maintenance that way. And I also can print as-built plans when people come to the counter and need a copy, or if we need a copy, I can almost print one instantaneously.
The GIS system can also identify what street a specific sewer line is on, the name and location of 5,000 manholes, GPS coordinates of the upstream manhole, the number of homes that are on a specific sewer line, its depth, age, size, and what it's made of. The highly advanced SCADA system allows for remote monitoring of various facilities.
SCADA is a centralized system that allows the operator to remotely monitor the activities of 12 pump stations as well as the advanced water treatment plant. First of all, SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. SCADA reads the measured flow and level and sends the values to the screens here in the control room. Typical items that can be monitored through SCADA are if a pump is on or off, if a check valve is open or closed, and the level of the wet well.
At considerable expense, Leucadia installs redundant pipelines and equipment to minimize the chance of sewage spills and to greatly reduce the environmental impact of a spill if one should occur. Dual pipelines are used for the district's largest lines, and a 200% pumping capacity is possible at the largest pump stations. Emergency backup generators are always standing by, in addition to portable, trailer-mounted generators and pumps that can be transported immediately to any location within the service area. To minimize any possibility of an unpleasant scent, an extensive 3-stage system of odor control is incorporated at the main pumping stations. At the heart of Leucadia Wastewater District's proactive long-range capital planning is the Asset Management Master Plan. The fundamental goal of the plan is to identify and replace infrastructure before it fails.
We implemented a program called the Asset Management Master Plan. And what that does is it takes our facilities, our assets, for example, gravity lines, manholes, pump stations, and it puts into a plan that allows us to repair and replace the assets before they fail.
In addition to long-range capital planning, long-range financial planning is a high priority to help the district maintain one of the lowest sewer rates in San Diego County.
The financial plan, along with our strategic plan and our asset management master plan, allow us to look into the future and determine our expenditures, and from there, our required rates. It's these plans that will allow us to maintain our strong infrastructure, our competitive rates, and remain a leader in environmental protection.
Since 1959, the Leucadia Wastewater District has been an innovator in efficient wastewater management, serving an area known for its beautiful beaches, lagoons, and coastal waters. The Leucadia Wastewater District is committed to ensuring its service area maintains its natural beauty.